everybody. Welcome to the Inside Sports Studios. I'm Charles E. Smith, Jr., and welcome to this edition of Talkin' Hockey. And, of course, as every week, Talkin' Hockey is brought to you by thepuckshopshere.com. Discount hockey gear available online. Already have the best prices. They give you free shipping on all orders over $75, and you'll receive a 10% discount when you use the promo code Inside Sports upon checkout. Well, you've met me. I'm Charles, so let me go ahead and introduce. How you doing out there, man? It's playoff time. It's playoff time. It's playoff time.
I think it's pretty safe to say that yes, it's playoff time, and any NHL junkie is most definitely getting their fix right now because it's been amazing out there. I mean, overtime after overtime, exciting storylines developing already. Not like we shouldn't be expecting that. It's the playoffs. I mean, there's always an exciting storyline going into it. It's just how it develops. So, I mean, it's been fantastic. I am on, if there was a Cloud 10 looking down on Cloud 9, I'd be there because Cloud 9's looking up and like, wow, we thought we were having a good time. Look at those guys. This is amazing. So I'm pretty thrilled.
And that's why I love this time of year, too. So first, before we get into it, we're going to go ahead and, break down a little bit about the series, the East, and then we're going to go West, as is customary. So, you know what? Hockey54.com, though. Tell me, what's the latest going on there?
Yourself some awesome prizes for growing yourself a playoff beard, courtesy of beardoware.ca. Got some Goon movie packs. So as soon as Goon turns itself into a DVD release, we got the Blu-ray DVD combo packs to be giving away. So grow those beards. If you can't grow a beard, use the Photoshop steroids or whatever photo editing you have to use because you can win some cool prizes just for growing a playoff beard.
All right, there you go, Lonnie. Okay, so you know what? Let's go ahead and talk about this. So we'll start in the Eastern Conference. We're going to go with top seeds down. So the number one overall seed, the New York Rangers. Then we'll get to the Bruins, the Panthers, and then down to that Pittsburgh and Philadelphia series. But first, the Rangers and Ottawa. Ottawa played them tough in the regular season, won the regular season series, but we talked about, did we really expect this kind of a dogfight to happen between Ottawa and the New York Rangers in the playoff series? The Rangers holding the edge in the experience there.
Well, I think both of us agreed this was going to be a long series to begin with, and it's looking like we're going to be proven right because, 2 games in, they're battling, and yesterday, you took down the emotional engine of the Ottawa Senators. Daniel Alfredsson gets a shot to the head. No doubt there's going to be a suspension for Haviland because, I mean, he's not a upper echelon player. So chances are he's going to see a 2, maybe 3-game suspension depending on how hurt Alfredsson is. And Alfredsson is one of those elite guys in the NHL. So, when he's hurt, Brendan Shanahan pays a little extra attention, which I think is a disservice to the game. But beyond that, we got to break down the nitty-gritty here. And they tied up the series yesterday. So good on Ottawa. I mean, we knew this was going to happen. We said that during our preview, that this was going to be a pretty long series. I've got it going 7 games, and as much as I hate being wrong, I do like being right, and so far, I'm on the path to righteousness.
Right, and one thing I'd said, too, was that what the Rangers needed to do was go ahead and baptize Erik Karlsson into playoff hockey. And they did that, but with maybe a little bit too much zeal in that first game when they went after Karlsson. Then that caused a retaliation in Game 2. And ultimately, we got, Brandon Dubinsky gets thrown out within the first, couple of minutes of the game. And that changes the whole complexion of the game, looking at the way that he can play. Home ice advantage is now lost. That goes to Ottawa. And you got to think that, this is one of those things where Henrik Lundqvist is now really going to be on his game because Ottawa now has some incentive.
Oh, absolutely. Wait, now was I misrepresenting there? Is it Haviland that nailed Alfredsson, or was it Dubinsky? Why do I feel like I'm off on that?
No, it was Haviland. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Sorry, you threw me off there with Dubinsky
Dubinsky,
getting thrown
that was
out
a
there
difference.
too, because
Yeah, that was a different set of circumstances there.
That was a
later in the
different
game.
infraction. Sorry, it's only so many guys getting thrown out that I can keep track of up here because it's just been happening.
Yeah, so many
throughout
elbows to
entire
the head,
playoffs.
and they all start to blend in together on you. You know?
Exactly. It's getting really bad. But yeah, Lundqvist played well, but Ottawa stepped it up. And yeah, you were right. They're pounding away at Carlson. It's relentless, and it's just a real physical series on the New York end. Callahan has been unbelievable. Callahan's been playing great. I mean, beginning of the season, people were like, Callahan, he's the captain of this team? Really? and now you see him playing the way he has in the playoffs thus far. It's pretty obvious that he deserves to have that seat. He might not be the most dynamic goal scorer, but he's just playing both ends of the ice like he's almost like a honey badger.
He's getting the C under the Keith Primo clause. That's why he's getting it. So it's not about the points that you produce. It's about the leadership you provide when you're on the ice.
Yeah. But getting back to your point, you're absolutely right. When we were off air getting ready for the show, we were talking about you don't do what they've been doing to the Senators, and now taking out the emotional engine that is Alfredsson, that could go against them. You don't do that. So I don't know. We'll see how things pan out. We'll see if Alfredsson will come back before the series is done. But he's had some concussion issues already this season, and this might be really, really bad.
Could be. So let's go ahead and move on to the number 2 seed, Boston Bruins against the Washington Capitals, and really low scoring series. Boston wins game 1 1-0. Then we got Washington coming back in OT to win that series 2-1. Now, when I think about this, though, is this a case where Boston made that great run last year? But if you dissect that run, they won 3 series in Game 7s. So maybe there was just a teeny tiny bit of luck/lightning in a bottle involved there. And so did we possibly overrate the Bruins a little bit coming into this series?
I don't know. I mean, I don't have the series going very long. I think I've got it down at 5, and I didn't say when Washington would win their game. So if it happens to be in Boston, it happens to be in Boston. I still don't think that Washington has enough of what it takes, the consistency to do it. But when you do win all those games in Game 7, then it speaks to the character of your team, right? So
correct.
I don't think Boston will get dissuaded from this minor setbacks. I mean, you've got Braden Holtby, who's just been outstanding as a rookie.
How about that? How about Braden Holtby? You're a goaltender. You got to be able to appreciate that, man.
100%. 100%. And I don't always buy into the whole, well, he's a rookie and he might get starstruck, or look, at the end of the day, your job is to have the ability to stop the puck no matter what, right?
Right.
And if you have good enough mental fortitude, because a lot of people say the game, at least for goaltenders, is 90% mental and 10% physical. If you've got the mental fortitude to come in, then it really shouldn't matter what the scenario is. Your job is to go out there and stop pucks. And it's a good thing that the first game where they lose pretty easily in overtime from a shot that some people might say he should have had, he comes back the next game and just matches that performance again. Good on him. He's coming out strong, cutting off angles. He's taking collisions in stride and not getting too emotional about it. He's been really strong. And who knows, maybe they'll ride that horse. Oh, yeah, I did say that. Ride that horse. Wow, I'm sounding more and more like a traditional broadcaster every day. Slap me, please. But maybe they'll continue to take the Holtby train. Is that better? The Holtby train?
Yeah, that works. So, you know what? Let's go ahead from that, and the 3 versus 6. And this, I'd have to say, if all these series if this were a beauty contest, this series would not win any points in the sexy category with the Florida Panthers against the New Jersey Devils. And in fact, I saw one in Twitterverse or whatever the social media network I was on. They were asking, does anyone really care about the series? And, the question is, Well, the answer is maybe not, but still, the guys are playing hard. They deserve the credit, and the Devils are up 1-0 right now on the Panthers.
Well, I don't think either of us had this series going very far either. No. And look, 26 shots in the first period? Seriously? Like, did the Panthers just, come from the tanning bed and say, oh, yeah, we got a hockey game to play? Like, that's ridiculous. 26 shots. And Jose Theodore was great at keeping them at least competitive because the game finishes off at 3-2. Marty Brodeur was solid enough when it really mattered to keep the game a one-goal game. But you've got that talent on New Jersey that's been there, and as far as I'm concerned, I'm giving them that series. So, hey, hooray, you can gloss over this series because we were ready to when we did the preview too. Look, with all due respect to Florida fans, right, and your long drought and everything, this team is not a great hockey team. It's just not. It got in because of the way the rules are structured. New Jersey has more points. Right. New Jersey is a better team, yet they are ranked 6th because of the way they formatted things. It's a victim of formatting. If it was flipped around, if it was flipped around and New Jersey belonged where New Jersey belonged, and every belonged points-wise where they belong, we'd be talking about this a whole lot differently. So,
definitely.
The victim of formatting.
All right, well, you know what? And it's time, let's talk about that 4 versus 5. The Pittsburgh Penguins, the Philadelphia Flyers. This is one that, we differed on, but we both had it going 7. You had the differences being with the talent of Pittsburgh. I went with the grit of Philadelphia. And also, like I said, Philadelphia being very at home, playing in Consol Energy Center. So it puts the Penguins in a tough position. You got a team that has no problem kicking your behind in your own building anytime they feel like it.
I can't for the life of me pretend to understand what's going on in this series.
Yeah.
I really can't. Like Pittsburgh, who by and large, I think that something like 12 players from their Stanley Cup winning team are still there. And this is happening in your own building? I don't care what happens during the regular season. Like, this is the whole new season. And this is happening in your building? Crosby's back and he's effective, and yet this is still happening? What's going on? I feel like we're in Bizarro land. That Superman is going to come in a black, set of tighties and just start crushing the arena, and people are going to be going, Superman, what are you doing? It's Bizarro land, Superman.
I get you. You know what? And I got to say, I'm really shocked at Pittsburgh, a 3-0 lead in Game 1, a 2-0 lead in Game 2. Giving up 2 shorthanded goals, I don't get it either. And you're looking at someone, I actually picked Philadelphia, but it's looking like Philadelphia might, they might sweep them.
Yeah, look, I picked this going Pittsburgh's way, not the same way all the traditional guys are going, oh, this is such a great hockey team and this and that. Like, it's an evenly matched series, a lot of people pointing that out. But, this is just, I can't understand it. It's one of those anomalies that my hockey brain is going, this shouldn't be happening, but it's happening. And Philadelphia is going back home to Philly.
Right.
All right? And they've got rabid fans, as everybody knows, and they're playing well. I mean, Sean Couturier with a hattie?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Claude Giroux is going, Sidney who? Oh, that's right. My name's Claude Giroux. I was also top 5 in scoring this year. Did you forget about me?
Well, you know what? On one of those goals by Philly, that was one of their shorties. Crosby was one of the guys back. And, he didn't pick up his man. And I know forwards don't know a lot about playing defense, but it was 2-on-2. And Crosby just lets the trailer come in behind him and tap in the rebound. I think that was Couturier's goal, getting that, right behind.
Couturier,
with Crosby
where he got that rebound?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Crosby should have picked him up right there.
Wait, was it the rebound? Was it the rebound or was it the semi-break? Either way.
Right.
The way I see that is Crosby is renowned as this amazing two-way player who's all 200 feet of the ice and can run up to the luxury boxes and give a kiss to the cutest girl in the room and get back down onto the save it.
Yeah.
Save it. He's not playing well enough.
Well,
he's not guiding his team.
Let me throw this out at you
right now.
Let me throw this out at you. I got to throw something at you here now, and that is when I look at the whole, the Crosby-Malkin thing. Does it seem like when Crosby comes back, and I know they don't play on the same line or anything, but does it seem like when Crosby comes back that Malkin's game ever so slightly just bumps down maybe a half a notch? It kind of looks like that a little bit.
I wish I had an answer for that. I don't know for sure because they play the power play together, right? But I wish I had an answer for
was Malkin?
Because maybe
Malkin
Malkin's
the
just
same
one of those guys
beast?
that needs to be number one.
Yeah, is Malkin the same beast when Crosby is playing that he is when Crosby is not playing? I think that's one of those little things that intangibles that we might want to start looking at. And I'm obviously watch today's game, but that's one of the things I'm going to be looking at when I evaluate the Penguins too.
By the way, I just wanted to mention you had a great segue with talking about Crosby's defensive skills. We kind of missed this when we were talking about Boston and Washington. We spoke about this off air. Alexander Semin seemingly hasn't remembered how to score goals because he's playing too much defensive hockey. What's going on with that? You were doing the Kelly Bundy thing. I was doing the Homer Simpson thing. You put too much knowledge of one thing in his head, and it seems to pop out the offense out the other ear. What the heck?
Well, they say a quart of knowledge into a shot glass of a brain, you're going to spill some.
Yeah, I think that happened. It's like no shoot puck, no shoot puck, no shoot puck. Oh, it's stop defense.
Well, I think it's just like some guys can make plays when they're driving with the puck. There are some guys who can still look to pass, and other guys who can only drive to the net at a certain point. And it's that kind of they would just say multitasking. But a lot of guys cannot think every single facet of the game at the same time, and that's what separates good and very good players from great players.
That's what separates Datsuk from the rest, baby.
Exactly.